Hey everybody, I'm here to talk about our reading for the week. It's actually the second time I'm doing this video. First time didn't work quite as well as I wanted it to, so I'm doing it again. So let me share the screen here. The essential question this week is, how do landmarks help us understand our country's story? This here is a monument in Washington, D.C. It's a Martin Luther King Jr., in case you don't recognize him. It's pretty big. I saw it with Mrs. Lilly when we were out there. You can see how, these are the people, how much taller it is than them. So, you know, it's big. Ooh. What did I just hit there? So this is actually part of what I figured out didn't work. Was I showed the video and you actually don't get to hear the video. There we go, that's what I want. This says landmarks. How do landmarks help us understand our country's story? There's music. Rosa Parks rode this bus in 1955. She changed history by refusing to give up her seat. You can sit on this bus in the Henry Ford Museum in Detroit. This is the Statue of Liberty. It's been a symbol to the United States for more than 100 years. This monument stands in New York Harbor and helps us understand our country's story. The faces of 4 U.S. presidents were carved into the side of Mount Rushmore in South Dakota. Millions of people visit every year to learn more about American history. The Grand Canyon is important not only for its size and beauty, but for the many things we can learn about our country. And then that's all it says. So. Here we have Old Faithful. It's a geyser in Yellowstone National Park that shoots water high into the air regularly throughout the day. Many people visit this landmark. And Thomas Jefferson was America's 3rd president. This monument in Washington, D.C. was built to honor his life. He also had a lot to do with the Declaration of Independence, Constitution, things like that. So, you know, he's kind of a big deal. The Statue of Liberty stands for freedom. So New York is actually like over outside this picture. And then this is just a little island that you can take a ferry, a boat, it drives you out. I think it docks you over here, if I remember correctly. And then you walk up, you walk around it. You can walk up here. Back a long time ago, you could actually go up to the top. I don't know if they let anybody do that anymore, but there might be a few people in special situations that get to, but not normal, typical people. The Lincoln Memorial honors our 16th president, Abraham Lincoln, of course, ended slavery. And then the Golden Gate Bridge is a landmark of San Francisco. Again, we kind of talked about this in science when we talked about bridges. So you know why it's so impressive because of how long it is, how big it is, and the structure that it took to build it. Here we have our vocabulary words for the week. We have carved, clues, grand, landmark, massive, monument, national, and traces. This is what I had done. I had hit play, but you couldn't hear it. So to carve is to cut something into a shape. So a strong river carved this canyon out of rock. You're talking about the Grand Canyon. The strong river carved this canyon out of rock. Cut something into shape. Clues are hints that help solve a problem or mystery. These paw prints are clues that a dog walked here today. Grand. Grand means good or excellent. Diane sat and gazed at the grand view of the river. A landmark is an important building, structure, or place. The Statue of Liberty is an American landmark. Massive, something that's very, very large. The boaters looked up at the massive stone cliff. Excuse me. A monument is a building, statue, or other object made to honor a person or event. Building, statue, or other object made to honor a person or event. The monument honors the leaders of our country. The John Brown Museum, that could be considered a monument. It's a building and it honors John Brown. National has characteristics of or has to do with country or the people of a nation. So the 4th of July is a national holiday. That's not just Kansas, that's not just California. So the entire nation celebrates the 4th of July. Traces, last word, small bits or signs left behind that show something was there. In the morning, we found traces or small amounts of snow on the plants. Fortunately, can't play the game. And now we have an article from Time Magazine for kids. This is called A Natural Beauty. It is a famous landmark in the United States, and it's huge. Remember, landmark, an important building, structure, or place. In this case, we're talking about a place. It is 1 mile deep and 10 miles wide. It was carved out of the rock by the Colorado River. Carved, cut something into shape, so the river actually carved it. It stretches across parts of 4 states. What is it? It's the Grand Canyon. Grand meaning good or excellent. Exploring the canyon. Many tourists visit the Grand Canyon. In fact, almost 5 million people take a trip to this national treasure each year. National have to do with country. People come from around the world to hike the dusty trails. They take boat rides down the Colorado River. They gaze across miles of massive red and brown cliffs. Massive, very, very large. Nature lovers visit the Grand Canyon too. They come to look for animals. They peek at the hundreds of different kinds of plants. They may spot eagles and see mountain lions. They may spy snakes and spiders, and some may even see bats. Some visitors also come to learn about the canyon's history. The history of the canyon. Explorers from Europe first saw the Grand Canyon in 1540, so about 500 years ago. But Native Americans were the first people to explore the Grand Canyon. Groups of Native Americans settled there long before 1540. One group was the ancestral Peblians. They lived in the canyon for more than 1,000 years. They were farmers and hunters. Scientists have found traces, or small parts, of their old homes still standing. Scientists have also found ancient rocks in the Grand Canyon. These rocks are some of the oldest in the world. They are clues to how the canyon was formed. Some scientists look for clues about the people who lived there. They have found tools and pieces of pottery. This is like in the canyon. It's in the walls of the canyon. They would build, and they say this is a place where they stored grain in this building. But their homes would be in the canyons. Everything was in the canyon and built into the rock, built into the wall. And then here's a map. There's the key. I gotta have the key. Flagstaff, beautiful place. It's a landmark. President Theodore Roosevelt visited the Grand Canyon in 1903. He saw how beautiful it was. He said it was a special place. As a result, he made it a national monument. Then in 1919, the Grand Canyon was declared a national park. That means the land is protected. No one can build homes on it. The Grand Canyon is a place all Americans can enjoy. Protect the canyon. It is important for people to take care of national landmarks. We can do our part by following the rules when we visit. Animals and wildlife are safe there and should not be touched. Rivers must be kept clean. There is still a lot about this beautiful landmark, and it is important that we protect it. There's a bighorn sheep that lives in the Grand Canyon. Bighorn. And I think that's about all of that part of it. So that's our normal routine. That's what we would normally do on a Monday. I am going to make a Google form that's going to have a little bit of a vocabulary quiz. Not really a quiz, but just to make sure you kind of followed along and know what the words mean. I'm going to start creating that now. And that'll be located in Google Classroom under Wonders Reading as well for today. So go in there, get that done. If you have any questions, ask Mrs. Farley and she can help you out. Super, super big, massive thank you to Mrs. Farley. Please be nice. Listen, follow directions. You know, she's doing a lot this week, taking care of the library and taking care of being with you guys and filling in for me. So we can't thank her enough, but one way we can thank her is by being on our best behavior. Okay. Yeah, you know what to do. Okay. I'll be back later on with another video for math. Talk to you later.